And you're watching the Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
Punchline.
Hold on, Vatos. We're getting ready.
We always have trouble getting everything put on the show. It's funny. Oh, they gotta turn that shit down out there, don't they? There we go. Hell yeah, we got it. All right. We don't have a lot today. There was not a lot going on with the world of boxing this week, but it's some little steady news here and there. We got the Leo Santa Cruz thing going on, and
yeah, we could talk about
that. Leo Santa Cruz and the Gary Russell thing going on. Amanda's on. My cousin Steph's on. I love her. She's so awesome. But yeah, I mean, we have things like we have the Canelo fight coming up.
Yeah. No, and I'm going to because it's a local guy.
Yeah.
Cleveland. Thomas Matisse.
Yeah.
He or I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Anyways, he won the Intercontinental title Friday night.
Oh, I saw that
on Showbox.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I want to congratulate him.
Oh yeah.
It was a crazy fight. Did you see how it ended?
I didn't. I didn't. It was kind of slow. So when it's slow, you get up and go take breaks and cook. They
threw shit in the ring and bottled the corner man up on a ring.
Wow.
After they stopped the fight.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of was a premature stoppage and they went to the cars or whatever, but they fired bottles. They hit one guy right in the head.
There's no place for that. There's no place for that in sport.
He looked good in that fight though. He looked. Thomas looked really polished. He sat down punches. He kind of screwed with the kid. I mean, he looked sharp.
It's funny. Ohio has a reputation for just putting out good fighters. They always have, and that's it's crazy because I remember even in the amateur system in California or even on the Army team, I remember everybody was worried about Ohio.
Yeah.
They're like, oh fuck, we got to go Michigan or Ohio or Pennsylvania. Those three states, everybody worried about. We didn't care about Texas. We didn't care about New Mexico, Colorado. We didn't care about those states. We cared about Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania.
We got the greatest fight ever.
And Rocky, right? They got Rocky Balboa from Philly. But we would worry about those states because Michigan, we knew we were going to get the Kronk team. Ohio, we were going to get anything from Cincinnati.
Well, then even a little later, you had the Marquette team.
Yeah, but those fuckers are Canadians and they're from all over the country.
Yeah, they are, but
yeah, I know. It's funny though, but
they always had tough.
Yeah,
especially the farther east you got.
And then Ohio always had Cincinnati and Cleveland and Columbus, and then Pennsylvania had Philly and Pittsburgh. They always had great fighters coming out of there.
Blah blah, Ohio.
David Smith's watching. Sean Dermer watching. Cedric's watching.
Is that DMRX? That's your cousin or somewhere?
Who?
DMRX.
No, that's Delilah. That's our girl Delilah.
Oh, Delilah. I keep forgetting about that.
That's Delilah. That's.
Oh, I be seeing it.
That's Mama
D. What are you saying? Blah blah, Ohio for Delilah.
She's mad because her boo lives here.
Ohio is the best. Well.
What's up, fella? What's up, John? Delilah's going to be here October 4th. We get to go see her in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go see her.
We're working on it.
PAL Nationals.
Working on it.
Well, I'm going to go.
You go.
I'm going to go. I'm going to be there. I'm going to go.
No, I do want to get down there. I like to see her too. I mean, I like to catch the Nationals, but I honestly, it's a day-to-day thing.
Yeah. Hey, big fight coming up. Matt Brown called me last night, and he said he has a fight in December in Vegas. He's fighting. Look it up. It's a big fight. I don't remember.
Whoa, girl.
Matt Brown. The fight's made though. He has a fight coming up in December. It just slipped my mind who it was. Fuck.
D. Della said, "Hey guys, love your show. Thank you, and thanks for tuning in."
Thank you. But we have Matt Brown from UFC, and he wants us to come work with him on striking. So we will maybe do that.
I would like to.
Ben Saunders, yes, he's fighting Ben Saunders.
Yeah.
Matt Brown. Ben's lost a couple, hasn't he, in the past fights? It's a good comeback for Matt on that torn ACL, on that bad wheel.
It is. Yeah, I gotta give Matt a call and see.
Yeah. What's up, Damon? Yeah, and so we got Matt from UFC fighting December. He's fighting on the Amanda Nunes undercard, so he's gonna be fighting there.
I'm working on it, Delilah. The Quag says I used to box at the boys' club in Canton when I was a kid. Not really a big boxing town. Canton really ain't.
It's a football town.
Football. I don't know. That's good, but it's right by. I mean, you're close to Cleveland. You're close to Youngstown. You got Razimi Ford.
Desi Ford's son.
Yeah, out of Alliance, Hey, keep an eye on that kid too. I mean, he's fighting his ass off right now, and he's looking good.
His dad was a monster in the amateurs. Do you remember him, Desi?
Yeah, I do actually now.
You know who also was really good that came out of those areas? Carl Griffith. Remember Carl? Remember?
Yeah.
He fought Oscar, right?
Yeah.
But he was a good fighter. He was like 25-0 at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There was a couple brothers, right? The Griffith brothers?
Yeah, you have Mike.
Mike and Carl, right?
Beat the shit out of Mike Griffith. I was like 17. I hit him. I mean, they were nice guys. I hit him, and he came up, and they kept going, no, we don't want to spar, because I was amateur.
Yeah.
We don't want to spar him. You know, we want pros. And Jack was like, just listen, you know, work with him. And this is when I was beating a shot like Sig Randy.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and Mike didn't wear headgear.
You fucked him up.
And then the next day he came back and he had like, can't spar today, and he had like the shoulder thing. Whatever.
Damn. They sometimes a hard head makes for a soft ass. Hey, Darren Shabbat said, "What's up, guys? I see a lot of people shitting on this Canelo fight, and I don't understand why. Canelo's expected to win, but it's a big test." You know what? I feel this way. So no matter what Canelo does, people are going to hate on whatever he does. Canelo can move up and fight Wilder, and they would say that he was cherry picking. Or it's the same with Kovalev. Anything Kovalev's doing, people are going to shit on that regardless. People just love to shit on anything. It don't matter who it is.
You're never happy. It ain't. Real quick, blah blah. Or Leonard says Kelly has a big old chewing every show, babe. Every show.
Yep.
Goodfellas, Pulp Fiction. I want to get into that real quick.
Yeah.
Prime Merrick Morales versus Pretty Boy Floyd at 130. Floyd. Yeah. Do I personally, from a boxing standpoint, agree with the fight? No, I don't. I really don't. But Canelo is daring to be great. We cannot argue that. And it's like nobody's ever happy. I mean, if Canelo don't take that fight and fight somebody else, now he's cherry picking, or he's not. He's not fighting the best out there. No, even though he beat Danny Jacobs, the other.
Oh no, people forget about how good Danny Jacobs was.
Yeah. So with that being said,
hey, Amanda.
Just because I don't agree with it, going to 175 to fight Kovalev, don't mean that you have to knock him for it or pick on the fight. He is doing something that other fighters have not done, or not many try to do.
Yeah.
So don't knock him for it.
What do you think, Justin? How do you got Canelo Kovalev? You know. Don't bullshit me, Justin. You know. You had this figured out weeks ago. You analytical brain motherfucker. You know how this works. Come on. Don't be political. Tell me. Tell us. I'm taking Canelo. I got Canelo winning.
I got Kovalev.
I got Canelo by stoppage. I think Canelo's going to stop him to the body, man. I really...
AV Boxing News, Boxtradamus joined. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. He goes, what's up, homies? Well, I'll catch y'all in Vegas. For what fight?
Canelo? Not Canelo. Porter.
Not Porter. That's too short. But maybe the Canelo Kovalev. We're working on that one.
Yeah, that one, yes. But
I got Kovalev in that.
I know you. And you have good reason to.
Yeah.
I have Canelo, which I don't think anybody can be mad at me for picking Canelo. No. I know the odds makers are against me on this too.
I mean, I wish I could pick Canelo. I'm a Canelo fan. I think he's great. I truly do. I just think it's a high jump.
I just think the better boxer is Canelo. And I'm also, too, I listen to Andre Ward, and Andre Ward has Canelo, too. He really does. And so does Sean Porter. They both said the same reasons. They said, they just think that, they just think he's a better boxer, and that body work's going to wear on Kovalev. But he has to but my thing is, he has to get inside to get to that body.
He does.
He's going to have to put that. He's going to have to go through fire to get there. But Canelo is a guy that's probably one of the best in boxing at slipping the jab. He'll slip your jab. So Kovalev might want to work on doubling and tripling and keeping that jab and that 1-2 going.
We'll see. He's going to have to. The whole problem is when he comes in with that jab, like you just said, it's a different. I mean, again, I know people said about the sparring and catching pads. But when you're fighting in a real fight and you're getting hit and pushed around by a guy that big, it's a totally different.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, James Ross says, salute, gents. Question about Spence versus Porter. If Spence comes in the ring with the fro out, is it like a headgear?
I don't know.
I say fair to fro, baby. Fair to damn
What do you think?
fro.
I don't know. I fought guys with afros and never stopped them.
It might have a little help.
As long as it don't stop, that fro don't grow on the chin.
Yeah. For Yeah, yes. We're gonna try to get out for that.
My thing is this.
Boxodamus.
Oh, my thing is this, man. It really is. I don't see how you got me thinking about the damn fight now. I think that Canelo's gonna have to
You
fight.
know what I say makes sense.
No, listen. Canelo's going to have to fight Kovalev on the inside to be successful. If he stays on the outside, Kovalev's going to beat him up. I mean, that's just what I feel. I just feel that Canelo's going to have to stay on the inside and work that body and work those uppercuts and keep him.
Oh, listen, just because I'm taking Kovalev, would I be a bit surprised if Canelo beats him? Would I be a bit surprised if Canelo stops Kovalev? No, because Kovalev can be. We've seen him in certain fights, and again,
He got stopped by a guy with no knuckles.
Ward was a bigger guy, but yes, Canelo is capable of stopping Kovalev because the way Kovalev fades in the later rounds, and he does not like the body. He does not, and Canelo goes to the body well. But the reason why I'm going with Kovalev is because the size difference, and it's going to be a little different going to Kovalev's body at light heavyweight than even going to Danny Jacobs and Triple G's.
Benjamin says, at least Canelo isn't sitting around waiting for a payday like Triple G, so you have to give him some credit. No, actually, he's already been paid. He's fighting for free at this point. He made his $365 million. He's getting paid for those fights already. So, yeah, he's really already been paid for all those 11 fights.
Yep. Soy Alex on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram, guys.
Thank you.
He says Ward was able to stay on the inside. Again, because Ward fought 2 weight classes higher than Canelo.
Ward's a bigger man than Canelo.
A lot bigger, and naturally stronger at that weight. He's been at that weight. So Ward is a 6'2", very strong, 6'1.5", super middleweight, light heavyweight.
And don't forget, Ward walks around at 205 pounds between fights. He's a big man.
He's a big guy.
We've been around him. Recently, he was about, 215?
Yep. Canelo fought as low as welterweight, right?
Welterweight.
Welterweight, and is coming up. So there's a big difference in that.
Louis said he spoke to Buddy McGirt, and it has a good game plan. I will say this. I have heard up in Oxnard that Kovalev's been running a lot. He's already started running, and he's running on his own, which is unheard of for Kovalev to train without being told to train. So he's taking it seriously. He's out doing road work already, which,
Nick Filipowski says there's nobody Canelo can fight that'll make people happy.
That's true.
And he says, I got Canelo late stoppage on body shots.
That's how I see it too.
Damon says Navarrete versus Inoue if it happens.
I got Inoue.
I think that would be an interesting fight. I'm going to lean more so because of the boxing ability from Inoue. But it's going to come down to who could take whose shot. Like, we've seen Navarrete, but we really haven't seen him take too many shots. How will he hold up to Inoue's power? And if Navarrete could hit Inoue with those thudding...
Do you know what that reminds me of, that fight? Reminds me of, it's going to look like? It'll look like Genaro Hernandez and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Mm-hmm. And really, look at the body styles and the way they fought. Floyd at 130 was a wrecking ball, like Inoue.
Yeah.
He was not Floyd of 147 or 140. He was, or 54. He was Floyd of 130 was a monster, wasn't he? And that's what that fight's going to look like to me. I really think Inoue is probably one of the best fighters in the world. I would have him in the top 5 pound for pound.
I agree. I got Inoue in that.
And I know for you didn't get on the Inoue train right away. You wanted to see more of him before you decided.
Yep. Ricardo, we're gonna get to the Gary Russell thing here.
Yeah.
Fat Lazy Farrell, Cat Farrell says, Ghost, how would Canelo versus you at 175 in your prime would have gone? Canelo at 175 versus me?
Dude,
I would have to take.
Small, man.
I'd take him at middleweight, let alone light heavyweight. Being 6'2".
Yeah.
Canelo could fight though. I mean, I'm not thinking. Body frames are body frames, and everybody moves to different weight classes and can adapt to that weight class, depending on body frame, how big they could get.
See, I think what a lot of people fail to realize with you a lot is your output. People don't talk about the punch output. You had the top 2 or 3 in punch output in middleweight history. Mm-hmm. You were throwing 78 to 85 punches around, which is unheard of. Those are lightweight.
90, 98.
Those are lightweight, but they got your average, right?
Yeah.
Those are lightweight numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't think about that, And we know Canelo does not do well under volume punches. If you punch, look at Trout and Lara, they do volume punches, and it fucking was terrible on him.
Yeah. If
you get a guy that's a middleweight that can punch and do volume, if Danny Jacobs would have thrown more punches, he would have won that fight.
Absolutely.
Hey Vinny, how you doing? And no, Benjamin, it's fine. A lot of people don't know that. That Canelo, when he did that thing, he took all his money up front so the fight purses, he made $33.1 million for 11 fights. But what had happened was he took all the 33.1 million for all 11 fights and cashed in right away. So he's stuck regardless. The problem is if he don't fight, they start taking that money back because he's under contract still. So you're right in a sense. He still has to pay for it.
So he says, would you consider this Kovalev's biggest fight? No.
No.
Andre
I thought Ward was.
Ward still would have been.
Yeah.
Ricardo says, do you think Josito Lopez could pull out the victory over John Molina? Josito has been looking good now that the Robert Garcia's training.
Of course he can.
Yeah, especially under the tutelage of Robert Garcia.
But I will say this. I like John Molina a lot. And John Molina can fucking crack. He can crack. We've seen him. John Molina hits like a heavyweight. He really does.
No, he does.
Do you remember what
he's strong. I mean, he gets in there. He's awkward, so the punches come from different angles. Yeah. He's physically strong. His punches are thudding. And that's hard for fighters to fight against that.
Do you remember that fight when he fought Mickey Bay and knocked him out in the last 6 seconds of the fight? Mm-hmm. One punch knockout. So, we don't know. But I would go with Josito in that fight.
Yep. Damon says, Usyk is quoted as saying, I've been training for heavyweight my entire career. How does the punchline feel about Usyk in the heavyweight heat?
Love it. Love it.
I like to see him go. I think he could actually win that division, win the
heavyweight
world title. I think the only dangerous fight because of styles is Wilder.
I agree. What do you think about Fury though? You don't think Fury's size one in boxing?
Yeah, but I think Usyk's conditioning will.
Usyk's a good boxer too.
Yeah, because he's a good boxer and he'll get on the inside. I think that his superior conditioning, he might be the only one that could outbox Fury at that weight, but I don't know.
I do think Wilder's a wild card because either Wilder would get outboxed or he'll knock Usyk out.
He will,
because Wilder has the power to turn lights out on anybody at any given time.
Santiago says, I'd like to see the rematch between Julian J. Rock Williams and Jermell Charlo at 160. Yeah. First fight of 154.
Yeah.
J. Rock has a belt at 154, so.
They're talking here about John Molina. I saw John Molina and Brandon Rios spar at 10 Goose Gym one time. And this is Brandon in his prime. This is Brandon right before Alvarado, when he was title holder. John Molina hit Brandon with the right hand, and Brandon was out on his feet. Like, Brandon, you don't knock Brandon Rios out like that at that time. You just didn't knock Brandon out. And Brandon was out. And then from, like everybody said, John Molina hits like a heavyweight. He does. Crack, man.
He can fight. And again, but I think what makes it even harder is his awkward style.
Yeah.
Like, you never know where it's coming from.
Yeah. Malachi Ben Yosef said, Kosi Tanaka, 3-weight division champion, only 13 fights. How long before the West starts to take notice of him? He was left off. And that's the thing. It's more the Japanese's fault than it is the Americans' fault. They don't. What's the word I'm looking for? They don't what's the word? Publicize. They don't publicize their fighters like we do, or the Europeans do. The Japanese hide them.
But we got to remember too, we're over here. So we don't know how big he is in Japan. We don't know how big he is in Europe.
I'm sure he's big, but but we don't get that.
We don't publicize. We don't even fucking do that with our own fighters.
Oh yeah, but look at Europe. Everybody knows who those motherfuckers run around are.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, look at the kid. Look at the kid that we were with in California. That kid's undefeated and a champion. Yeah. The one Rudy was working with. What was his name? Young world champion. Nakaturi. Junto Nakaturi. Yeah. Kid's a world champion. Nobody knows about Junto. What is he, 15-0?
Oh, Ellie Setback joined in on Instagram.
Ellie's here.
What's up, Ellie?
How you doing, Ellie?
Don't think I didn't see you. Santiago goes, I'd like to see you're Steve Z, badass KO from Charlo against J-Rock. I'm not a Charlo fan, but wow.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know in that fight.
John Molina Jr. was scheduled to fight Victor Ortiz last September before Vic ran into legal issues.
Yep, that's true.
Would have been a good one there.
I don't know which Ortiz is going to show up.
Because Ortiz could fight.
The problem is John has to hide his wife.
What's that?
John would have to hide his wife. Did I whisper that? Anybody hear that? No, I'm just kidding. Luis said, if Canelo pays the price to get inside, it'll be interesting late. If he gets inside easy, it'll be a late TKO for him.
Late who? Canelo?
Canelo pays the price to get inside. It'll be
Canelo
interesting.
fades in the later rounds too, though. So I think the farther that fight goes ahead, though, that's another issue. Like Kovalev fades too, but the longer that fight goes, I think Canelo is notorious after the 7th round of wearing down.
So does Kovalev.
But so is Kovalev,
But-
but is Canelo going to wear down faster, pushing a 175
Yeah.
pounder around?
Well, here's my thing: is he gonna train to bulk, or is he gonna try to stay light? You know what I mean? That is my thing.
One dude said he walks around 185.
Who, Canelo?
Or 180.
Canelo?
Yeah.
He does. That's legit. 185, 190. He's walking around big.
Blah blah says, saw Virgil Ortiz, said he believes he would beat Keith Thurman. What do you think about that matchup?
Who?
Keith Thurman, Virgil Ortiz.
Virgil Ortiz? Yeah,
I think
I
so.
believe that.
agree.
You know, look, I love Virgil, and I'm telling you, this kid is special. He's a once. Virgil Ortiz Jr. is a once in a 10-year fighter. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say generation, but he's a fighter you might see every 10 years come up. He's special, and you really don't have an idea how good he is until you've actually seen him in the gym train or seen him live. He's one of the few kids out there that has his shit together in and out of the gym.
All right, here goes one. Furry Unit says, I'm going to try on this one, Furry. Don't get mad at me. He goes, do you think Canelo is ducking fighters in his weight class to fight an older, heavy fighter?
Who? Who's he ducked?
Okay, hold on. So he fought Triple G twice.
Danny Jacobs.
He fought Danny Jacobs.
So who's he ducking? Charlo Andrade, who fights every 2 years.
And you're saying Charlo, who struggled in his last fight at middleweight, barely won that one, and he's jumping up 2 weight classes to fight a brutal punching light heavyweight world champion. I don't know if he's ducking anybody. Who else does he? He don't have to fight them other guys at that weight class.
He's the champion.
He beat the 2 other top guys. And controversial or not, he beat Triple G in the second fight. He won that fight. So I don't understand that. I mean, he fought Triple G twice, and now he's fighting Danny. He fought Danny Jacobs. Who else do you want him to fight? Is he supposed to fight everybody nonstop?
Kelly's watching. Hey, Kelly Morgan. That's my friend Kelly. She has her own show, by the way. Yeah, she has her own show. And guys, if you guys want to see a show where girls talk nasty, that's the show for you.
Which one?
Kelly, what's the name of your show so I can tell people to tune into your show? They talk nasty about strippers and getting wet and crazy shit like that with girls. You know what I mean? So it's like a show for like pervert guys, like everybody on this show would go tune over.
Yeah, Santio says Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus anybody at 147 except Earl. Earl at 154.
See, somebody just asked me too, and I just want to get Virgil Ortiz versus Ugas or Delorme. Osvaldo, Virgil beats both of them, especially Delorme. Ugas too.
I think Ugas.
I think right now, I think Virgil's. Me and Kelly have talked about this in these weight classes now. They're like a triangle theory. Like what I mean by that is you have your top guys. For the welterweight division, you're going to have Crawford, Spence, and right now it's Porter until otherwise.
Yeah.
And then you have everybody underneath. Right now, Virgil's right in that mix underneath. And right now, Virgil's really not going to get a shot at that top division until Spence moves up or Crawford moves out.
Yeah.
Because those guys are another level right now.
They are, but Virgil just keeps doing what he's doing. I mean, he's going to be there soon.
Guys, the show Kelly Morgan's on is called Inside the Vault. Go to her show, like and share her show. It's more of an adult-themed show. It's kind of like Penthouse show at night. You know what I mean? So they talk crazy. They talk about booze, music, and sex.
I do not know.
They talk about booze, music, and sex.
All right.
So tune in. Who's Chavez fighting? Heard he's might. You know what? He
keep
makes
seeing
comeback
that.
every year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, he looked horrible. I mean, first of all, he's training in a fucking garage. He has a bag that hangs. I think it's the highest it is 4 feet.
Yeah.
A real heavy bag too.
Yeah.
It sits on the ground.
Oh, dude. Remember when he was training? He was eating cereal.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is when he was in training camp. I'm not gonna say the trainers he was with, but there are buddies. He was in camp and he jumped out the bathroom window to take off. Kelly said the show's every Wednesday at 7:30. So tune in, guys. Joe says, I'm glad you guys are on point regarding Canelo. Tired of hearing so much nonsense about Canelo ducking and fix his fights. You know what? I'm going to be the first to tell you, I'm not a big Canelo fan. I've never have been, but I recognize greatness. I recognize good when I see it, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of fighters I'm not fans of, but I recognize them. I didn't like Kelly, but I recognize how fucking good he was. I'm just kidding.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. I did not
Fuck you.
I never betted against you one time.
Best boxing performance from the past 20 years. I'm going to have to say probably 2 of Mayweather's fights at least.
What about Lomachenko, Rigondeaux?
Yeah. Lomachenko, Rigondeaux, but I mean, dude, Mayweather's Canelo
Nobody expected.
victory
Yeah, but nobody expected that.
with what?
What about Oscar?
Oh, everybody did after Lomachenko did it.
Oh, what
Yeah,
about
everybody.
Oscar De La Hoya Chavez? Won. Nobody expected that really. That was a. And they say, oh, Chavez was old. He was 32.
Yeah.
Oscar chewed him to pieces in that fight.
You say that. Damn, there's so many of them now. But mainly Mayweather's because he just went in there and he embarrassed.
What about Lennox Lewis and Vander Holyfield? No one saw that coming either.
No.
Or Lennox Mike Tyson.
But performance, I'm talking about like all out, like throughout the fight, the dominance and skill and ability.
Gail said, hey, I just realized one of my favorite podcasts is rolling. How's everybody doing? See you this week. Hey, Gail, how are you? I appreciate it. I know Kelly appreciates our show being one of your favorite podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
We are not going to be there this week for the fight. We wanted to, but we're probably make Vegas, I think, for
Where's that?
Gail.
Oh, cool.
Gail, yeah.
Thanks, man. Ricardo says, do you guys agree with Robert Garcia's dad comparing Virgil Ortiz with Fernando Vargas?
Yes. Even Fernando agrees with it.
Yeah.
We talk to Fernando all the time. He's family. And yeah, even Fernando agrees with it. Let me clarify that. This is what the family has said. This is what Virgil had said. And this is what Fernando and Roger and all them have said. They're not comparing the style. They're comparing the work ethic.
Yeah.
When Fernando fought, Fernando was the hardest worker in the gym. I mean, I'm serious, he was the hardest worker in the gym. So what had happened was Virgil is the hardest worker in his gym, and Virgil has a mean streak. Virgil wants to take you out. Fernando's mean. Fernando knocked his own dad out sparring. You know what I mean? There's just some things, and those are the intangibles they're talking about. Their styles are 100% different, but the little things are the same.
Jake Miller says, Brian Campbell said he thinks Canelo is jumping weight classes to fight Kovalev because he wants to avoid fighting Triple G, even though the Zone wants the trilogy. I totally disagree with him.
Why would he want to? Why would he avoid fighting somebody he's beat?
I don't even want to get into it no more.
He
They
just-
go up and fight, go up 2 weight classes to fight.
Vinny's
Kovalev.
right. Vinny said the best fight in the last 20 years is Pavic Taylor. That could be on there too.
Definitely.
And Dax Khan says Roy Jones taking the title from Ruiz. No one saw that coming.
Thanks, my boo, Vinny.
Yeah, and Dax said taking the title from Ruiz. Jones, he's right. That's one fight that we didn't expect. We didn't expect Roy Jones to beat up Ruiz like that.
D. Della said, a lot of people say Canelo should have chosen Bivol as he is the younger, better fighter, but Kovalev is more known as an accomplished fighter at 175.
But Bivol has a dance card filled with the winner of Benavides.
Benavidez, yeah.
Bivol's fighting the winner of Benavides
And I personally think it's a little safer fight for Canelo to fight Kovalev than Bivol. Again, because you're talking about a guy who really dominated 175 and was fighting big guys and who could fight.
And Bivol's a smaller guy. He's not a 7. Hey, Gail said, I talked with both Canelo and Sergey last week. They have spicy and real respect for each other. You know, Gail, I've heard the same thing. I saw the press conference, and I saw they were really friendly, and that's really unlike Canelo to be friendly with anybody.
James, give us a second. We're going to get to that, man.
Like I said, that was really unlike both of them to be friendly. So yeah, they do have a mutual respect, and it's good for the sport. I agree, Gail.
Kung Fu says Calzaghe versus Lacey was the most dominant display in the last 20
but
years.
it was fucking Jeff Lacey.
Yeah.
It was Jeff
I know,
Lacey, bro.
yeah.
Come on, man.
Big G says Fernando Vargas has a special boxer with one of his boys. I didn't ask which one. My missed opportunity.
What do you say?
Big G says Fernando Vargas has a special boxer with one of his boys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Emiliano.
I didn't ask which one.
It's Emiliano.
How do you outbox Floyd Mayweather? Have 20-foot long arms with Gary Russell or...
Bro, if I could tell you that honestly, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I'd be cashing a big check somewhere.
Yep.
But
Calzaghe turned Lacey into a puncher back. All right, everybody keeps asking on the Gary Russell.
yeah, we'll get to that, but Gail said, I asked each one of them, do you respect your opponent? They did not hesitate to say yes and praise each other's work ethic. And it's, like I said, it's rare for them to do that. And so this is what boxing needs. So do you want to get into this Gary Russell?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tasteless.
Yeah, if you guys are asking, it's Emmy Vargas, and there's Amado Vargas, he's good, and now there's Papas, the son, he just got a first-round knockout the other day. So all three of them box, but I think right now Emmy is the star of the kids.
Fu says Lacey was supposed to be the next big thing. I don't think in the pros. I don't think anybody was really highly touted on Lacey. To be honest with
the
you,
amateurs, he was a monster.
he wasn't an amateur, but he also lost. He lost to a guy from Cleveland, and 2 years before he turned pro. Ricardo says, "Who wins? Fernando Vargas at his prime versus Canelo."
Don't you dare put me on spot.
It's a good one. It's a good fight at 54. I don't know. Due to the fact because how tired, my gut wants to say Canelo, but because of how tired and how he fades, Vargas was a monster even later into the fight.
He was, and he never quit.
And I think that would have wore, and I think his punch output from the beginning would have definitely worked.
Fernando was a guy who threw 80 punches around too.
Yeah. Aaron Pryor versus Tito Trinidad. Who wins? I got to go with Tito at 147 because
Aaron Pryor wasn't a welterweight.
Yeah, he wasn't a welterweight. But okay, so the Santa Cruz Gary Russell thing, tasteless. You know more on it, what he said and everything that happened, how he walked up to what Gary Russell did. So you start on it, then I'll feed into it.
All right, what had happened was, and we got this from Leo Santa Cruz himself. So this is what happened. Leo's dad, who's fighting stage 4 cancer right now, he's in a wheelchair. I understand. He's at one of the fights.
We are now, Kevin.
Yeah, he's at one of the fights here last week or the week before. And Gary Russell was there. And Gary Russell walks over to Leo's dad. And Leo's dad doesn't speak English. He doesn't know. He didn't even recognize Gary Russell.
Yeah.
So Gary Russell takes his picture with his arm around Leo's dad and then tweets right after, Leo, take the fight, you bitch. He said, your dad's within arm reach of me. So he can get the work too. So his dad could get the work too. So that's exactly, he's basically threatened an old man with stage 4 cancer that doesn't speak English, that has no idea what's going on, to Leo Santa Cruz. To me, that's some tasteless shit. I mean,
it is.
That is tasteless shit. That old man has nothing to do with anything. He didn't even know who Gary Russell was. He didn't recognize him.
I can't talk on it because the more I talk on it, the worse it'll get. But it is. I mean, geez. If Leo was there, I bet you at that point he would have.
Leo said he would have got that. Leo said he got that work. Leo wasn't there. Leo.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. If he was, damn well that would have been a fight, and I don't think anybody would have been able to break it up.
Bro, but the thing is this: if it was anybody from one of those camps in California, it'd have been on. Because Leo and Robert's team are real close.
Yeah.
Mikey and Leo have the same management and they work together. You know what I mean? You know the same manager.
Yeah.
It's all. I think they have Tank's.
Horrible, man.
They have Tank's manager too. They all. But the thing is, I mean, you don't do that shit. You don't threaten a family member.
No, especially like that. Like a kid's father.
In stage 4 cancer.
Stage 4 cancer, and that's what you're going to say. So, horrible. Kevin Carter. Not only did Russell recorded a video and said that on video, he could put hands on Leo's dad.
Yeah.
No, he says, he goes, not only that, Russell recorded a video and said on the video he could put his hands on Leo's dad. I know it's disgusting, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he said he's within arm's reach. And what happens between fighters and their camps is one thing. But, I mean, you don't do it.
If that's your way to sell a fight or try to get a fight, it's class. I mean, it's uncouth. It's derelict. I mean, if that's the way if that's the way you want to do it, I mean, that's what you are. You're a derelict. There's other ways of getting a fight. Say Santa Cruz shits himself and plays with it at night in bed, or I don't know. Like
Steve Stoller, I hope he's joking. Steve said, "I thought Russell's a straight shooter, legit."
What did he say?
I thought Russell's a straight shooter. That's legit. He threatened a man with stage 4 cancer in a wheelchair. That's enough to get him fucking killed. You get the wrong person in that state that see that, he wouldn't make it out of that arena.
Leo was with Robert for his first 14 pro fights before Leo went to Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're close. Him and Mike are close, And I know that because I've seen them work to do some of the media shoots together.
I think Leo...
Rainbow does a lot of their media shoots together.
When did Leo turn pro?
Oh, God. It had to be like 2008, 9.
Yeah,
it wasn't
so I'm thinking he might have been
10?
out there when I was out there.
10, maybe? maybe 2010. You know, he had 24 fights like in the first 2 years. He was like, we'll get to Angulo and Quillen too. It's a short one.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys,
I wasn't
to me,
impressed with that fight.
no. And getting to the Angulo and Quillen thing, when that fight was announced, I wasn't impressed. Both guys, one is at the end of his career and been beaten, and the other one has been beaten down by life. And they I think they just were out for that one payday. And I honestly thought Peter Quillen was going to win that fight. I just thought Angulo had nothing left. I was actually surprised. But let's be honest, they both look like shit.
Ooh, here's a good one. Juan Manuel Marquez versus Mikey Garcia. Who wins? Man,
what weight?
Chest
what
match.
weight?
What weight?
Featherweight? Lightweight? Welterweight?
Fat Lazy Cat says, Kelly, has anyone in boxing ever disrespected you to the level of Russ? No, I haven't had. The only one that really wasn't even bad was Miranda.
You didn't speak Spanish anyway, so didn't
actually, you know what? Fucking Scott Sigmund.
Yeah.
He was trying to get to me, but I'm cool with him now, so my buddy.
You know what's funny? I would have fucking dared one of your opponents to talk shit to your dad. Your dad would put those big paws on him right away.
Especially at that point. My dad was all worked up. Fucking,
all stressed out anyway.
Yeah, stressed out.
And then somebody say he could get that work.
He just gets so worked up, he argued with me the day of the fight.
Get you stressed out.
I'm telling him, like, man, get the fuck out of the room. Fuck you. Man, I don't want to work him up too much because I was afraid he was going to
the fight would
fall.
Start out.
No, I was afraid he was going to fall off. I mean, my dad, he gets so nervous, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, worried.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad, yeah, he would have snatched somebody up in a heartbeat at one of the press
You're going to put some hands on me? What I thought Steve said what I meant was Russell always an asshole. I thought he was one time he's a good guy. Got you, Steve. I thought you were defending him. Like, Steve, come on, bro. Luis said, damn it, beat her off fight on 10-18 Philly. Could be the fight of the year. I agree. Beat her off and Volstick could be the fight of the year.
Lobster 11. What's going on? He says, hi, guys. Ashley says, it is me, Hayden Dominguez. Oh, Ashley Putik. Russell pulled a Ricardo Mayorga. That level of disrespect.
Yeah. That was.
I don't even remember Ricardo doing anything to that extent.
He grabbed Shane Mosley's wife's ass.
Yeah, I mean, but
that's pretty fucked up.
That is, yeah, but you know that's more of a.
But I really think that Mayorga might have been clinically retarded. Don't you think so?
Yeah, but I still don't see that as like your fucking dad's died. Like if his wife was dying of stage 4 cancer and he grabbed her ass and disrespected, yeah.
Yeah.
But
you know, Gary Russell. Joel says Gary Russell seems like a nice guy. He might be, but I think he may have lost his mind and brain farted. But Benny said that Gary Russell seems like a nice guy. He may be, but I think he may have brain farted. But I will tell you one thing. I do know for a fact that Leo's actually a nice guy, a legit nice person.
Blah blah says your dad looked like a tank. He did.
Hey.
He is. He still does. You got to see him now.
There's Xavier Roscoe. I like him. He has a great show. He's pretty knowledgeable in boxing. He puts people in their place. Xavier Roscoe. He puts people in their place. I like him.
So yeah, I want to let you guys know too. Facebook guys, people that are tuning in. James got the Facebook, so I don't see Facebook. I'm on the YouTube. So it's not that I'm ignoring anybody on Facebook.
No, and Kelly's in charge of YouTube, and I think Justin's looking at. What are you looking at over there, Justin?
He's got Instagram.
Oh, he has Instagram
yeah,
too.
and I got the Instagram too, so I got two. There ain't much action. Justin's looking at probably Pornhub or RedTube.
And XX. So Canelo wants to be active title holder in 3 weight classes. What do you think? You know what? Right now, there's no one in the 160 division knocking on his door constantly, so he has to stay busy. You know, I think Canelo's trying to get through those 11 fights as much as possible.
I bet so too.
Was he already in 6th?
Yeah, and he can take a couple easy ones. Ashley, your cousin goes, it's Chris's son. Did you tell her hi?
Who?
Ashley?
I don't have that. Who is it?
Ashley. I brought it up. I told you that she was saying.
Oh,
hi.
Ashley. Tell her I said hi.
Okay. And then I did. She heard you. Goodfellas, Pulp Fiction.
Hi,
Tommy Hearns versus James Toney, 160.
I got Tony.
I mean, a lot of guys at
Dude,
160 would be
Tony might have been one of the best 160 fighters in the world. Believe it or not, guys, I got James Toney beating Marvin Hagler at 160.
All right. Kevin Carter says, now that I've lost all respect for Russell, let's talk about one of my favorite fighters. Where do you guys see Usyk going in the next year?
What?
Where do we see Usyk going? In
I see him fighting for a heavyweight title.
I do too. Is he going to win it? Depending on who he fights, I think he can. I don't want to see him fight Wilder off the rip, though. I think that's a dangerous fight because, especially two fights in only, and you say you fight a Wilder.
But you know, the thing with the Usyk don't have a lot of time in his career either. He's one of those Ukrainian Russian fighters that are already in their 30s, you know.
Yeah.
But with the heavyweight division, they can fight a little older because they don't fight as much.
And with the vitamins and
The auto injector 2000s, you can last forever.
Goodfellas asked, what was the first car y'all owned?
What was yours, Kelly?
I really didn't own it, but I drove it. It was a Chevy Citation.
Oh yeah, I had
that for 2 months. I went over and I signed with Top Rank, and I got me a new Grand Am with rims, with no spinners. I got the player rims with no spinners.
Yeah,
and I had it was nice. And I kept that thing nice too.
I had a 1986 Camaro Berlinetta, and before we say awesome, this car was smashed to shit. It was white and it had gray primer, spots all over it, and the front clip was completely destroyed. I got it for $500, and the only reason I got it for $500, I took a friend of mine, this girl, and she wore practically nothing. You know what I mean? The guy that was selling the car was some kind of a sex offender. So I brought this girl I know and had her dressed down to nothing, and he gave me a $1,500 car for $500.
Oh shit,
dude! I knew what I was doing because he was a sex offender.
That's willing and dealing.
Willing and dealing.
Frank Koo joined. What's going on? First time I've seen him on here. Thanks for tuning in. He asked, how come no one is asking for Farmer versus Burchell? Who wins? We talked about that.
I would have to go with Farmer.
I got Farmer.
I would go with Farmer. Farmer would outbox Burchell. But why is anybody talking about Farmer and Jamel Herring? Or Burchell and Jamel Herring? Right now, Jamel Herring is one of the best junior lightweights in that division.
And we're not saying that because we like.
No, he's an IBF champion, and he's legitimately good.
Yeah.
He took that Japanese guy apart, didn't he?
Well, I think you're going to see it soon. I mean, you're going to have to see that. No, Jamel. One of them guys fighting Jamel.
Yeah. I mean, that's who we need to. You need that Farmer and Jamel Herring, or Tank and Jamel Herring. You need some of those fights. Burchell is good, but like I said, Burchell is a good style fighter for a guy that comes forward. He's not going to outbox you and make you look good.
Okay, I got to answer these two. Michael Donahue says, Kelly, who was your best sparring partner during your career? I had a kid by the name of Richard Pearson who was a phenomenal boxer, 6'2". He got me ready for Jermaine, the first two Taylor fights. He was slick. And then I have to say, then I had a guy by the name of Teddy Mueller, who was a MMA fighter too, but he was like a boxer.
Yeah.
And I love him and he's cool as hell. And I'm probably sure right now that he don't talk right as being my sparring partner for those couple fights.
Yeah.
He got me ready. He was like the throw-in for Jermaine Taylor. He come in at the end of the sparring session for like the cardio. And he was in there for fucking Edison Miranda. And he was in there for Gary Lockett. Like 4 camps. So he was the most durable guy that I got the most rounds. And Teddy Mueller took some beatings, man.
He didn't care, did he? He just kept coming back. Huh?
Oh, I know he. Hey, yo.
Damn.
Who was that 147 between Mosley and Tito Trinidad? Ooh.
I would give Mosley. I would give Mosley. Trinidad, and I've said it before, Trinidad was the most perfect puncher I've ever seen. I'm not saying he's a perfect boxer. Everybody gets crazy. I said perfect puncher. His punches were never out of place. His left and his right and his hook was never out of place. His uppercuts, and nothing was out of place. His hand never dropped below his chin. He was so technically gifted. He might have been a once-in-a-lifetime type technician, but the problem is, at the same token, being that technically gifted is also hurts you because he doesn't adapt. You know what I mean? And I've had the same. I'm not saying I'm technically gifted like Trinidad. Don't everybody say get crazy. I'm saying that I was real strong on technique, and it hurt me. It hurt me in the long run being that strong in technique because I didn't adapt well.
Yeah.
You remember fighting guys like were real technical?
Yeah, and you're 100% right. It did hurt him in big fights
because they don't adapt.
Yeah. But it is easy to pick up because you know exactly where he's coming with punches. But
Esmond has a good question for you, Kelly.
All right, I want to get into some of these. Go ahead.
It's a quick technical question. Throw in a hook to the body, palm down or thumb up?
I don't think it really
It
don't
doesn't matter.
And
No.
thumb up, you got more wrist support,
You got
and
more
it's
torque.
firmer, and it don't, so your wrist ain't bending when it's up. But if you're hitting a guy and you're throwing as a grown man, professional boxer, and he don't, 'cause the main thing with a body shot is you don't want them to see it coming.
Yeah.
If anybody sees it coming, if you get a guy off the street and sees a body shot coming,
He won't
he
hurt
could text, flex it. The main thing is to sneak it in.
Yeah.
But
You're exactly right. And the thing is, there is no wrong way to throw it. Palm up, palm down, thumb in, however you're going to do it. The question is just throw it. There's not a wrong way or right way to throw that, have it, but whatever works.
Okay, Jose Alessandro's Usyk versus Andy Ruiz. Who wins?
Usyk.
That's good. Same thing. Jojo Diaz, because Andy Ruiz is his advantage is his boxing ability against heavyweights, and now you got a guy like Usyk coming up from cruiserweight who's 6'4",
still bigger,
can box and is in shape. Goodfella Paul Fiction asked this the second time. Goodfella, he says one has to go: bacon, pizza, ribs, or burgers. I say burgers.
Bacon, ribs, or pizza or burgers?
Yeah.
I would go with bacon. Bacon got to go.
Oh shit, I could eat bacon. I wrap bacon in bacon.
Or ribs, one of the two.
Ribs either.
I
Kevin
think
Carter.
bacon.
Guys, have any interviews set up? Maybe someone coming on to the show. Kevin, here's the issue. We had guys like Terrence Crawford,
Mikey Garcia.
We've had great guys on there.
Jojo Diaz. We've had all the top 10 guys in the
Michael
sport.
Carvajal.
Michael Carvajal.
And it's like we get them on and we lose listeners. And people are asking questions still. I could be talking to
Carvajal.
Sugar Ray Robinson. We could bring him back, and people were asking about the Devin Haney versus the Cyclops.
Yeah, we had Crawford on, and people were asking questions about who would win between Butterbean and fucking Tyson.
So
I'm like, dude, you have Terrence Crawford on here, and you're asking shit like this.
And I think the reason why, and you guys know this as well, you guys love the interaction, where this is like one of them shows where you could ask questions and we answer it, and we're constantly feeding. Our heads are in the phone the entire time. We barely look at the camera. We're trying to get to your questions. I think we set the format up, and it's just too hard to bring guests on because nobody really cares. Everybody's too worried about getting their questions answered, and it don't matter who. We've had some of the best guests or best people in boxing on the show.
We had Robert Garcia and Mikey Garcia on prior to Broner. Do you remember
Lee
that?
Samuels with Top Rank.
Fucking Terrence Crawford.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was a good interview.
Yeah, that's why we don't do that many interviews, because the format of the show.
And don't forget, hey, the UFC. Who we had at UFC? We've had Matt Brown. We had TJ fucking Dillashaw on here.
Oh yeah, TJ Dillashaw.
And people just act like they said, hey, I just want to ask you about who would win between Sugar Ray Robinson and Harry Greb in their prime. Like, dude, I fucking don't know.
Yeah, see, Santiago said the interaction is legit. And it is. So, I mean, we could have Mike Tyson on. We could have Andre Ward. But everybody wants to talk. So that's why we don't. We leave it open for discussion for you guys.
Luis said, thumb down digs in more, but isn't as quick. What the fuck do you know, Luis? I'm just kidding. You know what? There's not a wrong way. But also, if you have the thumb up, you're actually pushing a lot of that upward and taking a lot of air out of that diaphragm. So it depends. Steve says Michael Spinks versus any current light heavyweight. I would say he would have his work cut out with guys like Vostik and fucking Bivol. He would have his work cut out because those guys were so strong. See, Steve, the light heavyweights of that time were not big guys. We're talking about these light heavyweights now are fucking monsters. They're huge. It's a big difference.
Yeah. Amy said Haney versus Cyclops.
Who?
Haney versus Cyclops. Oh, she's laughing at my comment. James Brawl says, what do you guys think about Tyrone Spong? I think he's a scary dude that some guys aren't trying to know about.
He's going to give Usyk some work, but I really think Usyk's another level.
It'll be interesting.
Well, no, you're going.
Santiago says the interaction is legit. Kung Fu goes, who wins? Joshua versus Ruiz 2 rematch.
Gail says Tyson just wants to talk cannabis. You know what, Gail? Mike Tyson said he smokes $40,000 a month in marijuana.
And Mike Tyson also said that he don't like talking about boxing.
He don't like.
Who wins? Joshua versus Ruiz rematch 2. My take is this: if Joshua gets a new strength and conditioning coach and loses some of that muscle, I'm going to go with him. And when I say lose the muscle, guys, I'm not saying he's going to get weaker.
Lean out a little bit.
Lean out, get the oxygen back into the muscles. I'll go with him. If not, I got to go with Ruiz again.
I'm just kidding, Luis. I know you do. I'm just picking on you. Yeah. What do you guys think of the JoJo Diaz fight? I like JoJo. I hope he does well. I mean, I really can't say too much, but I do know I like him and I want the best for him. I thought the Gary Russell fight was not a good fight for him. But from that fight, I could actually see that JoJo can be hurt. JoJo, like Gary Russell, can be hurt too.
Yeah.
So that made me more confident in my pick of Leo Santa Cruz when they do fight.
If they do.
I think it's going to happen, man. I think.
Yeah, I think now it might. Goodfellas, what 3 boxers would you show to teach a boxing class?
3 boxers? Oh, for what? We'd have to go with basic technique, basic fighters. Terrence Crawford, I would definitely show.
You would show Terrence Crawford.
Errol Spence.
A boxing class?
If I was showing basic technique, a basic type fighter.
I'm trying to figure out how the question was asked.
Okay. Go ahead and ask again.
What 3 boxers would you show? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Earl Crawford, Spence,
Mikey Garcia, maybe.
Garcia.
Somebody that's good but basic. That's I don't know how. If you say basic, people lose their minds.
Tito Trinidad.
Trinidad. Somebody that's talented and basic that doesn't do too much to overwhelm you. Like guys
Triple
like
G.
Triple G. Guys like Lomachenko and Canelo. That's too much for a beginner to take in.
Yeah.
So, but like a guy like Spence would be perfect.
Yeah.
Because Spence does everything,
Crawford.
and Crawford, they do everything well with a purpose, and it's nothing's outlandish or crazy.
Exactly. Bivol.
Bivol.
El Capone, guys, you do your own thing. Great setup from UK, so we'll watch when we can.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. We
Thank you.
appreciate it, man. Thanks for tuning in. Kevin says, definitely cool to talk to the former middleweight champ. Well, thanks, Kevin. Always enjoy you on. From the Midwest, too. Do we have any champs from the Midwest?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant from the Midwest.
It's too much thinking right on the spot. I gotta go back and try to remember.
I think right now Caleb's. Oh, Terrence Crawford. Crawford's from the Midwest.
Where's he? He's from.
He's from
Oklahoma.
No,
Or Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah. See, we're mid east.
Yeah, but Midwest, those guys, and Caleb Plant is like Illinois area too, Missouri.
Yeah, that's Midwest.
Yeah, Midwest. Those guys.
I still, we'll go battle top on it again, especially here in Northeast Ohio.
Yeah.
You're a 6-hour drive from the Atlantic Ocean. I call this like the Midwest. If you look at a map, we're literally right over top of Florida.
Yeah. Camel's watching. Hey, what's up, Camel? Omaha. He's from. Yep, that's right. Gail says the fight we're going to see is rematch between Jojo Diaz and Andrew Cancio. Cancio's a completely different guy these days. He wants to avenge that loss. I agree, Gail. I can't argue with that one bit. I think Cancio's a really good fighter.
Fat Lazy Fro, are y'all excited for Danny Garcia versus Mikey Garcia? That's in the talks.
Right now, I think that's been canceled,
I
guys.
thought it
They
was
canceled that. Yeah, over money. I think right now it's Mikey Garcia, Manny Pacquiao. That's about 98% done.
That's about the one. And
Yeah.
we were excited about that fight
Danny.
with Danny Garcia.
It came down to money. Danny wanted more money, which I understand because Mikey getting the lion's share and Danny's not getting as much, and Danny thinks he deserves more, and that's how those break down. But right now, I think Manny and Mikey are in this talks. We'll see what happens.
Goodfella says, laugh out loud. He goes, y'all won't show Deontay Wilder in a boxing class?
I would show
people how a windmill works.
No, yeah, but I would show people Deontay Wilder to talk them out of boxing. So when they get hit, it's like have your soul leave your body when you get hit. Mm-hmm. That's what Deontay Wilder does. He would scare people from wanting to box because when he hits people, he destroys them.
Yeah.
But no, Wilder would not be my first pick for technique. Where are we at on? Oh, we're
close.
We got about 5 minutes.
Ugh. Yeah, well, we're kind of getting out of questions here.
Yeah, we're running out, man. We're running out. But look, like I'm saying, I What? Oh, we had dead space because I was thinking.
Fred. Davelstein. Try to move it over in the middle a little bit more, sturdier. Man, what do you guys think?
What do you say?
I don't know. I mean, the cut man.
What about it?
The people were. Teddy Atlas kept complaining. I don't understand what Teddy Atlas had to complain about. Did you see the size of the cut? I don't care who you had in there. That was a nasty, nasty cut to work with. Teddy Atlas needs to take 2 weeks off and quit.
Yeah, Teddy Atlas gets a little emotional. He gets pretty emotional for a guy who had 2 amateur fights and he lost one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kevin. It was Kevin said I thought he did a great job, and the fight wasn't stopped, and he did. I mean, that was a brutal cut.
The only cut I've seen worse. I've seen a couple worse than that, but that reminded me of the Klitschko type cut. And then
Yeah.
also that one
was pretty bad.
Do you remember the one that what's his name had? Badu Jack had. Remember his head was split down the middle?
Oh yeah, that was right in the middle.
Yeah. What's up, Bobby?
Fat Farrell goes, do y'all think Canelo will implement some nut shots on Kovalev here and there, like Ward? I'm sure Kovalev is going to throw out some warnings to the referee in the locker room before the fight.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. When that class teaches Esteban said, when that class teaches technical power class, this is Mr. Inoue. You know what though? I couldn't use Inoue even to teach that because Inoue is really advanced and so far ahead on some of the things he does with his feet and stuff like that. A new class of beginners wouldn't be able to follow it. I want basic fighters that do well. I don't want some guy that's really flashy and is going to do crazy shit because Inoue's not a perfect technician himself.
No, that's what makes him good.
Yeah.
All right, I think I got one of the hardest questions to ever answer on the show.
Okay.
One of the most fucked up questions.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny. Who wins in a tug of war? 85 mini bears or 67 or the 67 Packers?
I'm going to take the 85 mini bears.
Yeah, they're bears.
85 mini bears. Or you take 67 Packers, the 67 Green Bay Packers, or the 85 mini bears.
Now he's saying 85 miniature like bears.
Bears,
and
yes.
he's talking about the 1967 Packers.
No, not the football team, the mini bears. Like I'm gonna take
But versus the professional 67 Packers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bears, man. I'm gonna take the mini bears.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, James.
Because not everybody are defense players. You got quarterbacks, you got kickers, you got punters on that team, you got wide receivers who can't lift shit. So really, do you have
And you got mini bears
Mini
who
bears
will
that
probably
all strong.
eat them after they're done beating them in tug of war.
Oh, that's true. Esteban says, don't miss Madrimov on the Triple G undercard. Hey, before we go, our buddy Roger is in Kazakhstan trading Kanat Islam right
Yes,
now.
he is.
Kanat Islam just moved up to 160, and he just became the WBO interim champion. And they're looking for a fight between him and Andrade soon. And Kanat
awesome.
Kanat is like 30-1.
This is big for Roger. I mean, this is going to open up other shit for
Yeah.
Roger, other things, and it's a great opportunity.
I agree.
It says, do you think Fury's cut will heal in time for Wilder rematch?
I don't know. Everybody, it depends. Kelly knows better than on cuts like that than I do.
Sure, if they take the proper steps,
And he's
they'll
not
have,
fucking sparring.
yeah, they'll have somebody there for him to
A good plastic
work on,
surgeon.
somebody to heal that cut the right way.
Did your cut ever heal? Right?
No, that's the thing. I'm not sure how you can get it to heal right.
Yeah.
Because scar tissue,
Yeah.
one way or another. But I guess there's ways you can take care of it.
What about, did you have a
Maybe
lot
some cool lotions that I didn't know about.
did your cut ever really heal, or would it open up?
Some buttermilk, coconut oil,
Coconut oil,
coconut wax.
pussy juice.
That could happen.
Did your cut ever heal? Right? Or did it?
It still bleeds time to time at night.
You're just laying there and
Yeah,
it's
just
bleeding all over.
Wake up,
What's
blood.
going on with the pillow? I don't know. That damn cut again.
It's seepage.
That damn cut got me every time. Gail said Akhmedov is on the undercard. He is. Absolutely.
Emilio goes, is Danny Garcia the hardest one-punch hitter at 147? No.
Who would you say?
I think Spence hits a one-punch harder puncher.
Do you?
Absolutely.
I think Spence is a volume puncher.
I think Danny Garcia is a little overrated because you show me who he really, at the top level, will drop with one punch.
But who has Spence dropped with one punch?
I
At the
just
top
still
level.
think Spence
Nobody.
is a harder
Spence.
puncher.
I think Spence is a volume puncher.
I think Crawford
I think
has a
Crawford's a
one-punch.
better puncher than Spence.
And I think Crawford has a one punch better than Danny Garcia.
And I think-
Danny Garcia is a sharp shooter. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but
I think Crawford's a bigger puncher than Errol Spence.
Well, we saw Spence knock the guy out of the ring.
What do you think? Who do you think is a harder puncher, Spence or Crawford?
I think stronger wise, I think like overall Spence. I think as a sharpshooter, a guy that could take you out and end your night quicker. I think Crawford.
Yeah. I don't
Absolutely.
know, but Danny Garcia, I would agree, but it'd be the best one punch guy. What about Virgil Ortiz Jr. as a one punch knockout artist?
Oh, yeah.
Virgil Ortiz just showed he can knock anybody out with one punch.
Man, I had a good question on Instagram right at the very last second, and they shut off.
Felix said, does Josefito Lopez and Molina have potential to be Friday night? Of course it does. They both will fight. Of course they do. It'll be a bloodbath.
James Burrell says, question for James.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about the truth about Kelly's hold my beer moment with the BB gun.
I can't. I'm sworn to secrecy on that.
There was nothing to tell.
I was there, though. Was I there the second day?
Yeah.
I was there the second day, right?
There was nothing to tell. Truly.
No. It was right before the Slipknot concert.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Leonard Holt. Caleb Plant is from Tennessee.
Doesn't he live like in Iowa or somewhere?
I thought he would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, that's still Midwest.
Yeah.
Ain't it?
Yeah. I thought it was the South. I don't
It
know.
might be mid
They consider it the South. Well,
Mid-South.
they go by where they fight in the Civil War. The Tennessee was in the South during the Civil War, so in the South.
Nope. We're going to get ready to wrap up.
They say Crawford after he tortures them for a few rounds. Crawford does torture the shit out of people. Spence couldn't KO a small Mikey at 140. Yeah, but let me tell you what, Mikey just doesn't get knocked out by a lot of people either.
I mean, yeah, it's different.
And Mikey was and let me tell you what, Mikey was not trying to get knocked out. So he wasn't really, you could, what's the word I'm looking for? You could survive a fight by not engaging. Mikey didn't do a lot to engage in that fight to get himself in a position to be knocked out.
Yeah, no, Capone says Spence seems a lot bigger and stronger than most welterweights. Kell Brook was.
But it's not always about strength, and it's not always about size. A lot of it's just that it factor with the power. Wilder's not the biggest heavyweight.
I got pissed.
Is Wilder the biggest heavyweight? No, but that motherfucker will hit you and turn your lights out.
I will.
But yeah, other than that, guys, good show.
It was really good show, and we'll get back. And Instagram, sorry about that. Well, you guys still won't be able to hear us. Instagram's a different type platform.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Subscribe,
share, like.
Hey, also, one thing, we're doing the show on Tuesdays, guys. Let us know if there's another day that is a better day for you guys, whether it be Saturday, Sunday, whatever, Monday,
absolutely,
than Tuesday. Because what we're trying to do right now, Tuesday's not an efficient time with a lot of the numbers, so we're trying to see what works. So let us know.
And do my Bashid, all my Italian for Sicilian friends. Do me a favor. Just September 29th, the coolest app and boxing app is coming out, the Sweet Science Plus. Check that out. I mean, even if you guys don't want to lose weight, you still get some great workout exercises and get strong, and you get some great boxing tips from two professional fighters, one a world title challenger, and obviously 3-time world champion.
You and Billy Lyle.
Yeah, check it out, guys.
I just watched Billy Lyle and John Duddy the other day. Watched that fight. It was good. But hey, great show. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. You guys are the ones that make the show. I mean, we appreciate you guys watching and stuff, and the questions. Keep them coming. And we will see you guys next week.
Absolutely.
And talk to you soon.